a censored album cover on an artistic freedom level created a lot of bad blood between George and Warner Brothers.
The funk started falling apart in 1980. We had a deal with Warner Brothers Records to deliver an album. George wanted to give them 2 albums. They didn't want to accept 2 albums because they'd look at the cost perspective of it. So in the interim, not wanting to accept it, they basically lost interest because they saw the headache that they were up against. So they started backing off slowly but surely. And when they cut the funds off, of course, then that really threw us into a tizzy then, because now, man, we wheeling and dealing. We got this happening, we got that, we got the road thing happening. You're spending money here, you got all these people you're taking care of. I mean, it was a circus. I mean, it was a real circus.
In the meantime, George decides to funk Warner Brothers and take his Uncle Jam label to CBS. Roger Troutman of Zapp was going solo, and he was going to start the label off with a bang.
He was supposed to have been on Uncle Jam, my label. Bob Krasnoff, Warner Brothers talked him into borrowing the tapes one day and tricked him into selling them to him, which CBS had paid for.
So then Uncle Jam Records didn't have its guiding light, so to speak.
We started running into real serious problems. So then people started backing off, and as one company backed off, which was Warner Brothers at first, and then Columbia started backing off, and then Casablanca started backing off, you see. And then it was like a wave then, see. I mean, eventually it just choked us. It choked us. I mean, it was sad because within a year or 2 years, it was just like the doors were closed.
It seemed as though the Uncle Jam label put fear in everybody that we was going to start our own Motown, and I really, that's my belief, and it could be wrong, but I don't think the industry never want another Motown.
I mean, everybody had walked away. Lawyers had walked away. The band was falling apart. I mean, they had hit rock bottom. I mean, rock bottom. It was a really tough time.
The business got very confused. There was a lot of abuse, a lot of substance abuse, and no one cared what the hell was going on. The only people who cared were those of us at the low end, the band and crew, who weren't getting paid. And we were watching people walk away with fistfuls of money. And Jerome Braley and Glenn Goins left and started their mutiny on the mothership period. The original Parliaments got very fed up with being pushed to the side. They, rightly so, felt that they were being pushed out of the limelight and being pushed away from the creative process.
The vibe had shifted, political climate was different, and all of a sudden, instead of P-Funk becoming the source of joy, it became kind of unraveled.
Don't play no funeral march yet, damn it. Like George said, funk don't go nowhere. It's forever coming.
That was the hardest thing, it seemed like to me, for most artists, to be able to put their feet back on the ground. So when it comes time for me to take a time to sit down, I did it graciously. I went fishing, got in trouble, did all things that I would do if I wasn't out on the road. And at the same time, still made music.
He came back. 1982, smash. Atomic Dog.
When they did Atomic Dog, it's kind of like an anthem. You know what I'm saying? It's like it became a neighborhood anthem instantly.
He's creative. I mean, you cannot get away from around that. He knows how to make music.
While George Clinton and his P-Funk All-Stars continued to funk through the 80s and beyond, the P-Funk legacy inspired a long list of musicians. Prince, Barcades, Gap Band. I mean, we ain't got enough time to say how many people was inspired. The list is too long.
George gave me a lot of hope. Every record, I mean, everything he did, he gave me a lot of hope.
She's a very kinky girl, the kind you don't take home to my bar. She will never let your spirits down.
What they were doing